What's going on, workforce? Brian here.
Chris here.
And don't YouTubers effing suck? That's the post that we're covering today.
Let's see what this lovely poster has to say.
This honestly, it just cracked me up the whole time. Chris, I've got it up on screen. Why don't you take us through it? Let's discuss YouTubers effing suck. Or especially 14 YouTubers.
We relatively keep this channel safe for work. The F-bomb's probably across the line. I kind of keep it where TV is, so we're going to be subbing some things in here. But there's absolutely nothing in this game to make good content on. So every freaking channel revolves around guides, 6.0 speculations, and endless amounts of uninteresting weekly podcasts, stupid humor revolving, I don't know, we're going to swap this stuff out, revolving around the job stereotypes, which were only ever funny the first time, news videos, which take 5 years to go over a 5-minute piece of news, item showcases for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in. It's just like, I feel like already in this first paragraph that their complaint isn't about YouTubers, but the content cycle of Final Fantasy XIV. I could be completely biased in that regard.
In that post, they have summed up 90% of 14 content on a patch over patch basis.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I would like to point out that one of the things that maybe it's just because we create content, I think one of the things that a lot of people don't recognize is that people create content to be viewed. So everything he just listed are what people want to see. Like anything I've done Final Fantasy XIV animation videos and not a great performance, and that's fine. But it's a matter of like, is there somebody wanting to consume that? And what he doesn't I wish in this first paragraph, they went on to name, this is what I want to see, because that could then tell either us, or we're always trying to encourage more people to jump into content creation. Say, hey, go make that thing.
Go make that thing.
Yeah,
I'll watch it. Because what we find is we post 10 videos that we want to post, and 8 of them do really, really well and get a positive feedback. And thank you so much. I enjoyed this. Thumbs up. Beautiful comments. And the other 2, it's not that they get negative content. They just don't get viewed. And then the algorithm assumes that those first 8 are the good ones. Mm-hmm. So then when you Google things, you only see the first 8 of every channel, which means there are channels out there that have videos that underperformed, and then they don't make those again. Like, why would I keep making something that nobody wants to watch when there's something else I also enjoy making that people do want to watch? Like, if those are my 2 choices. Right. Okay. So let's go on. So we've listed all of the types of content except for guides, I think is the only thing here that they haven't mentioned.
They mentioned their first thing.
Guides. Oh, you're right. Revolves around guides. First thing. Okay. So that's everything. So I can't think of another type of 14 post besides news, guide, speculation, humor, or discussion.
Right.
That's all of it.
So if there's a 6th category,
any game.
If there's a 6th category, let me know. Anyway, continue, please.
So why would I ever want to watch this effing bullcrap? It's all completely useless and pointless content that is uninteresting and gets repeated by everyone non-stop. Occasionally, one YouTuber will make a hot take, to which all the other YouTubers will make a response video just to agree, because they were too wimpy to discuss the topic themselves without the safety barrier of someone doing it before them. It feels like all YouTube channels for 14 are directed towards sprouts that haven't even reached level cap, which I can tell you a huge portion of our content is directly aimed at. So us, not every creator. There are creators who explicitly only make like Savage guides, for example. Mm-hmm. But that is kind of our thing.
Yeah. And it can be your thing too. So it's not like our thing in terms of don't you dare make that content. No, please make that content. Yeah, please.
When we had the previous post on here, it was things I agreed with. I just don't really know the right way to say them. And so like there were aspects of how it was said that I disagree with, but like I totally empathize with. And even things that I think the poster themselves was like, I don't think this is the right way to say this. I just haven't found another way, and I have to let this steam out of my system.
Yeah.
This one, like, it feels like I'm only getting one half of the story, and like I'm immediately like, okay, well, what is your suggestion? Right? Like you've clearly torn something down. What is it you'd prefer? Because as a content creator, like Brian, I'm like, okay, So what's the sixth category?
Yeah.
Like, tell us.
What's the piece of content that is
Brian
missing?
has like 32 channels. He'll make a channel totally centered on just that one type of content.
I'll
You don't
do
know.
it. You better believe it.
Oh, so, and your only two choices, by the way, are to be hot take or somebody after hot take, or you're just a coward not wanting to be the first guy through the door. Those are the only two options. So anytime we've been in the middle of filming and editing something and another one went live, we're late.
Oh, too late. We're now
That's
responding.
There only needs to be one of every video.
Yeah.
So I know, like on the last one, I kind of came across as like part empathetic. On this one, I really don't know how else to take this other than to just laugh, because A, they're like disrespecting an enormous part of Brian and I's life, and B, like, so it's immediately like, okay, I have to laugh at this or it's awful.
I don't care that they're disrespecting like what we do at all. Like I think there's a legitimate critique here, but the problem is, and let's finish the post, because I have some thoughts that I think that while he's attacking kind of the YouTuber scene, I think he's actually attacking Final Fantasy XIV, and he doesn't know it. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes. It's not just 14. It's not just, they said FF14 YouTubers, but like actually in my mind, it's all of YouTubers and all of games and all of 14 specifically.
Yeah.
It feels like all YouTube channels for 14 are directed towards Sprouts and haven't even reached level cap. I have no idea how a game can have such crap on the YouTube scene. Effing Bloom's Tower Defense probably has more interesting YouTube than this stupid game. Mione gets a pass, though. He has a nice voice.
Mione does get a pass. Like, that's the best line.
Which my favorite part is, if you remove his wonderful melodic voice, his channel revolves around guides, 6.0 speculations, endless amount of weekly things that center on humor and job stereotypes and item showcases. Like,
yep.
Like he's in here with us. He just has a better voice than us, Brian.
Oh, dude, he has an incredible voice. If you're not following Mione, guys, be sure
if you're not following Mione,
go follow Mione. I want to get him. I want him to get 100K. I want him to get that. He
might be the only non-sucky Final Fantasy XIV YouTube creator.
Yeah, I agree. Except for the fact that I like he posted on another game, and there were some people in the community that just let him have it, and it hurt him bad. Like I was talking to him about it. I was like, dude, just make the stuff you want to make, man. Like just make your stuff. And that's what it's about. It's about having fun. And if people don't want to watch, that's cool too. Like
that's cool, man. Nobody's making you watch it. It's not like him posting deleted a different video off YouTube.
Right.
Like YouTube can only have 100,000 videos at any given time. And every time a crappy one is posted, a good one is deleted.
Right. So
that'd be a weird
when we talk about the sixth category, like this guy's discussion, like his post here is ranting about the state of Final Fantasy XIV. And he is oblivious to that fact. Oh, why aren't there build guides? Builds for what? Like, why aren't there, like, PvP things? I've had a couple of people say, I want to be the PvP Final Fantasy XIV creator. And I say, you let me know how I can support you. And there isn't a scene. Like, it's, like, with certain content. So, ultimately, overall, like, I think his critique of the YouTube scene is because that's the content that people crave. Like, you want lore? Like, Ethos was doing that. And it, like... he would get claimed, and like it essentially was like it's easier for him to go over and talk to you about the lore of the game on Twitch as opposed to him making videos and the work that he puts in for the return that he gets. And while like there's the concept that a lot of people are like it shouldn't be about the money at some point comes into a factor of time. Like if I sit here and make this and all of y'all watch it and you love it, and then I can maybe do some more. I could play, it covers the sub, or like God forbid somebody like is able to support their family off of like content creation. And that's where you see a lot of people within 14 specifically struggle, because the community as a whole, like they're gonna watch a live stream during a story event because that's protected. We hold the story to be sacred. So you really have like, there's a real struggle there for that kind of content, a real void for that kind of content. We make it does real well. But I think that could be done better, and it definitely could be done better, and then but I put it out there because people are hungry for it. They're asking for it. So I go, absolutely, I'll sit down and make it. Why do people do guides? Why is there because I think also his, the thing that he didn't register when he was writing this is that, and I've heard this from other people in the community, Square Enix cares more about new subscribers, new people coming into the game than they do about their existing holding on to the base. That's been a constant critique of Final Fantasy as a whole, going forward, where why do like there's constant flow of sprouts, and if you go and what you find, what happens with the sprout is eventually they become a veteran, and then eventually the veteran says, wait, I've done all this before, I'm going to take a break. And that is the cycle of the game. And obviously there are exceptions to the rule. I would think we'd be two of those exceptions of people who play this game an absurd amount of time. But I think overall, like, YouTubers are human beings. Like, what do you want them to do? You know, and that's my 2 cents. I think his critique isn't on the YouTuber, it's on the game, and I don't know if he's making that connection.
The top 2 comments here at the time of this recording.
I haven't read the comments.
I like Static Night Shenanigans videos a lot. It's the best entertainment content out there for me, 14 related. Outside of this, what's there to enjoy, really? There's very little ways for groups of players to challenge themselves in older content and PvP, which is a lot of fun in other MMOs and is a minor footnote to 14. Even the meme videos are just overused. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess I agree with this post. And then the one right below that is when you reply to a post about content creators, but accidentally call out the problems of Final Fantasy XIV in-game content.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't read these comments. I just feel so connected now to these.
It is literally just, it's not just a YouTube problem where somebody puts out 10 videos 10 times. And over that 100 videos, they say, okay, I enjoyed making all 100 of those. And you know, but not all of them did well. And the community saying, hey, don't make this again. Hey, do make this again. And they're saying that with their views, their thumbs up, their actual comments saying this was a crap video and this was really good. I like this. Do more of this. Thank you so much. And then they lean into that. And their next 100 videos are more heavily. And so that's YouTube. And then YouTube as an algorithm is also funneling that way. Yeah. But the game also itself, the community the community that we've formed that loves this game very much also does not like spoilers, does not like things that don't respect story, because story is a big part of this community. So you have to be careful. Does not allow for any form of community harassment, which like there's definitely positive aspects of that. So making fun of other players is not really a form of content. Does not heavily funnel people to PvP. Only comes out with, what is it, 20 hard fights every 2 years, 30? Like versus games like World of Warcraft that come out with them 10 at a time. Like the amount of content, if you say anything that's accessible by a casual is not welcome, anything that is either speculation because it's not based in fact, is a guide to somebody who just doesn't know things that you already know, great, that's awesome. But there's somebody out there that's just starting today and doesn't know this stuff. Is your type of humor, which of course humor is very subjective, like if you remove all of those, there's not enough left meat on the bone. But that's not really fair to the game. That implies the game doesn't have a lot of meat on the bone. It's just that you dismiss these huge chunks of like, we could talk about story until we're blue in the face. There's all sorts of things where you could have a whole podcast about who is Sid Garlemald. You could do that. That's a whole podcast on one guy. Like, you can't just toss that out.
Apparently. Now, again, like I said, I didn't read these comments, but now I'm seeing the third one, Lori Croft saying, you say accidental, but there's no real secret about the endgame problem, as he views new subscribers as important than retaining old ones. It's the philosophy, it's just get the new ones because the old ones will stay regardless. And it's true, while some think drastic, but COVID really exposed these problems because the content stops coming in. And Lori Croft goes on, I thumbed up those comments. I was like, holy crap. Like, wow, talk about feeling like somewhat connected to the general concept of 14 and 14 content creation. My question is what do you want to see? And
what do you want to see? And
it's not about just stating it. It's like then actually showing up if the content deserves it. I'm not asking for a single view that I haven't earned. Like that's not what this is about, but it's about like what out there is lacking, and whether it's something that Worked a Game would produce or if it's something that you could produce. And if you were like interested in doing content creation, what is not being filled out there like that, especially that they list it, because obviously it's whoosh right over our heads, because otherwise we would have been like, hey, let's figure that out.
We've tried all 5.
Absolutely. And to various success and
every
failure.
way to suck. We have figured it out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Every way to suck. And so that's the question. And I would say if you have an answer to that, like, you don't have to share it with us. Like, go and make that. Because essentially, if we're in the minority on this,
there are people hungry for it.
There are people hungry for it. And that's what the core of his post states. is that do YouTubers suck? Absolutely. You know, it's like but you're gonna have to take that a case by case basis. You might think we suck. That's perfectly fine. We welcome you and your opinion in that way. You might love us for like the content that we do. I have always felt our job is to help Sprouts, to encourage people to try this game because we love it so much. And the thing that we have like in our corner, like that makes me feel like we're doing what we're supposed to do, is that we have numbers that show just how many people have subscribed or have at least downloaded the free trial because of the videos that we made. And it makes me happy. And it's not an insignificant number. It's insubstantial. Right. And it's like, that's a lot because like, that's what we want. Like, I want people to experience the game. They don't have to love the game like I love the game. But if they try the game and they love it, then I'm excited. And that's the goal. That's how I've always kind of viewed what this is. And I love talking about Final Fantasy, and that's what we do. We make discussion videos, and that's also something that not everybody's going to love. And they let us know because they tell us how crap we are, because they tell us we freaking suck. And it's like, that's fine.
And guides are something that, like, learning something, you may receive it in the game and from a friend and from a content creator on Twitch or whatever, and it doesn't catch, it doesn't resonate. And so I think having multiple people making Savage guides, these are all good. Like, Brian and I are constantly advocating for more 14 creators, and that does mean that there will be ones that come into 14 that are not our taste, maybe even that I actively dislike. I still welcome them. Mm-hmm. Like, we need more voices, not less, because like, creators that succeed, creators that have a base that supports them with their, their views and their comments, and in some cases, literally their money and just their support, just their emotional, we like the thing you're making, means that creator represents something that even if you made that creator quit the game, and 14 has made creators quit before.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That doesn't mean that all the players that supported them suddenly went away.
Right.
That view is still there. It's just not being voiced now. So like, I think that if nothing else, when a creator comes into the space and has immense success that isn't my taste, whatever game they may be playing, it reminds me, okay, there is a whole group of players out there who love and care about the game just as much as I do, that are playing the game differently than me and have come to a different set of conclusions than me. And that's fine. And so like, I don't think this is an issue of 14 YouTubers suck. It's easy to read this as a meme and as this big ridiculous thing. I don't even think the core issue underneath this post is that 14 YouTubers suck. I don't think it's that 14 sucks. I don't think it's that YouTube sucks. I think it's just a frustration with wanting something to exist, but not knowing how to ask for it. And one of the things I've had in my content is the other day I was trying to sum something up and I kind of leveraged a complaint, but I didn't really offer a solution. And somebody in the comments validly said, you should not go around just tearing something down until you're at least ready to either respect or offer a suggestion of how it could get better. And it's a valid complaint. So now, even though I may have had a suggestion for that one thing, I didn't put it in the video, and the video goes out as a completed thought. So I do want to say, like, if you feel this way, I get that, but like, offer something else. What shifts this from being a rant post to being something that's more of a conversation is offering something else. What is it that you think would make a YouTube channel better than crap like Work to Game that just leans into these first 5 categories? Like, what is that thing? Because like, we're legitimately, I think we have time and time again proven if you guys ask for a type of guide or whatever, as soon as we are physically able to get to it, we try our best to get to all sorts of video types. And so like, we post things upon request. And then when people comment and say, that was really good, that's what causes Brian to go from, you requested one controller guide and then said, thank you for it. So he made more controller guides until he had made all of the controller guides. Now he's made a controller guide for World of Warcraft. I don't even know if that was requested. That was just by extension. Now he's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to make controller guides for New World. What gave him that fuel? It wasn't that he just wanted to put that out in space. Communities have thanked him. People that don't know how to put keybinds on a controller because they're new to the game and they're interested in playing with controller appreciate Brian's hard work there. And so that's what makes, like, I don't think you just like making controller guides. You're perfectly capable of playing without your own guide.
Yeah. Yeah, like I just play. I think essentially what drives me is the thanks, but it's more than the fact that people come and they enjoy the game and then they go and they make it their own. And that in and of itself, especially in 2020, and this is the only time I'm going to talk about it, is I think the good that I can put out in the world that allows somebody maybe to distract themselves a little bit from the crap that exists, from the effing crap YouTubers and the effing crap of, the disappointments. And, I think games are this universal connective tool that we all have. And if you guys have ever seen my reasons for making content, it's an hour-long video. I'll break it up into parts for Prime University, but it's not about me. It never has been, and it never will be about me. And that's why if you look at Ginger Prime's video design, it's always game focused. Like, I'm 100% showing gameplay footage and talking about the games because I feel like I want to highlight the things that I'm excited about, in hopes that you try it out. And if you're excited too, awesome. Let's talk about what you liked about it, because I'm really interested. I think, especially this year of isolation, has taught me that this has been a real fun medium for me to dive into, appreciate, and enjoy, and share. And that's kind of what it comes down to for me. And those are my thoughts, and that's why I do what I do. And I appreciate everybody who has enjoyed what I do. It's a thanks enough. Like, just saying, a comment. And that's why, Chris, I've always stated, and we continue to believe, that we don't do this for the likes on the video. We don't do this for the subscribes. We actually do it for the comments. Y'all commenting and having these discussions has been so exciting, and that's what continues to fuel us going forward. Now, Chris, any final thoughts? Because I'm going to send them over to Twitch. If you
no, I was about to say, speaking of comments, those comments can now be in live format.
Yes.
So a little self promo at the end of the video here.
If you're watching this and it's between the hours of 8 and 2 p.m. Central Time, go hit the top link in the description. Go hang out and lurk with Chris. We thank you guys so much for the support today. We're trying to push for Twitch partner. I didn't want to plug it at the beginning of this video because it just seemed kind of disingenuous to be like, YouTubers FX suck. Go watch our other stuff, I figured like there'll be probably a smaller portion of the
whoever made it this far might be okay with our content and the fact that we're trying to move to making more of it, not less.
Absolutely, guys. For Work to Game, my name's Brian.
My name's Chris.
Let us know what you're thinking about this discussion, and if you have any other topics you want us to cover, let us know as well. That's what we're here to do as a part of these discussion videos. But for Work to Game, I love you guys very much, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.